Hi, it's Elaine Swan, the Etiquette Lady. How are you today? I hope you have had a great week. I did. This week I celebrated my birthday, so I'm really excited about that. I had a really good week. And so it's been quite interesting. I would like to talk with you today, though, about police, politics, and plagiarism. What to say at work. Oh my gosh. So obviously in the news here recently, there's been quite a bit going on. So many killings as far as the police department is concerned, with victims who were either armed or unarmed, or just, I mean, it's really obviously been quite a bit, and there's been a big uprising about that. Politics, we have the Republican National Convention going on this week, and there's lots being said at the convention itself, and of course online everybody's got an opinion as well. And plagiarism, little something that happened with Mrs. Trump this week. So, you know, all this stuff happens, and then we all head on to work each day. And it's a little bit challenging sometimes to engage in conversation about this sort of thing, especially because people have polar opposite opinions. And so, of course, my advice is always to try to help you along in this particular instance. So when you get to work, you'll find there are kind of three different circumstances. Number one, you'll have a person who wants to talk about what's going on. They're very passionate about whatever spectrum, whatever side they're on. They're very passionate about. They want to talk about it. And then you have the other individual who maybe just doesn't quite know what to say, and still trying to kind of wrap it around their head. And then you have other individuals who maybe have something to say, but they're uncomfortable. And well, oh, wait a minute. You have, well, that's kind of the same kind of person. So you got something to say, you want to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it, and you're the recipient of talking about it. How about that? You want to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it, and maybe you're the recipient. You're on the receiving end where someone is sharing and you know, that sort of thing. So first and foremost, for the person who really wants to just kind of share their heart and talk about what's going on, and you're very, very passionate about it, be mindful of other people's opinions. The fact that everyone has an opinion. And make sure that whatever you decide to share, that you are doing so with individuals who are comfortable. Pay attention to body language. Body language will tell you whether or not a person is interested in hearing what you have to say. And if the body language you're observing says, you know what, I'm uncomfortable, or this is not something I want to discuss, then just cut the conversation short. I'm not saying you should not express yourself regardless of what you feel. I'm saying be mindful and considerate of the other person, because that's one of my three core values of etiquette: respect, honesty, and consideration. The second person, this is for the person who maybe is kind of on the receiving end and you're not quite sure what to say. Then it's perfectly fine for you to say exactly that. Just be honest. Use my core value of honesty and say, you know what, I really don't know what to make of this whole thing, and I still am trying to process it all. I don't understand a lot of things, so before I even engage or get into a conversation with you about it, I'm just going to hold off. So I'd just rather not talk about it. It's that simple. Just tell the person you don't want to talk about it, and that you're still trying to process it, because that happens. And you know, thirdly, for the person who just really doesn't want to engage at all, and you really just want to run, then that's what you say. You say, you know what, we're at work, and I just don't want to talk about it at work. I'm going to just kind of keep my thoughts to myself. And let's just focus on this and change the subject. That's one of the things that I share in my book, Let Crazy Be Crazy. I'm going to roll over here, get a little copy of my book. That's what I say in my book, Let Crazy Be Crazy. I do say to try to change the subject. Changing the subject will be your friend in a lot of instances, because you can just kind of move the conversation into a different direction. So, bottom line, be sensitive to other people. Make sure that you're using consideration and you're not doing anything or saying anything that's going to make someone feel upset. That's doing a little recap here. And pay attention to body language, because that's what's going to help you determine whether or not you need to stop talking. For those of you who want to engage but you're not quite sure and you're still kind of in your learning stage and trying to kind of figure out what's going on, then say exactly that and be honest about it. And if you just don't want to talk about anything at all, then this would be in that same instance. Just be honest and say, you know what, I don't want to talk about this. I'd rather just kind of focus on whatever, and then change the subject. Okay, so I hope this helps. Let me just share one other really quick thing. And I do think it is important for us to have dialogue, but we have to be sensitive to other people. I was working out of the country not long ago, and I was talking with another fellow American, and we kind of got into this sort of discussion. This is before all this, well, it's all been going on for a long time, but before the most recent events that we're experiencing. And I shared with him some experiences that I had, and kind of things that has happened to me in the past and things that have happened to my brother. And it really took us having a nice heart-to-heart conversation, really respecting each other and listening to one another, to just kind of open up and share from the other side. And so things should be an open dialogue. Oh, and for social media, which is a whole nother story, just ignore the crazy on social media and don't get into fights on social media. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you have a really, really great week. That's my little tips on police, politics, and plagiarism. Okay, have a great week. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, and follow me on social media. I am Elaine Swan across all social media platforms. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.